Hello all, this is going to be a quick recording, just kind of going through all of the pre-trip that we've got going here for Indian Caves. So this is going to be a really cool trip that's going to be just right here, just in our beautiful state of Nebraska. Super fun, going to be going through a little bit of the trail system with Indian Caves. Been here a number of times personally, and if you haven't been here, this is going to be a great opportunity to kind of learn a little bit about backpacking and also just a little bit about some of the wonders the state has to offer. So going through here, these are just a few of the pictures that we would see along the trail here. One of them being Half-Breed Cemetery, pretty awesome Native American cemetery that we would be backpacking right past. With this, it is backpacking, so it's going to be something where we're not necessarily right in a common campground. It's more so we are going to be camping off trail. There's a number of pretty cool campsites that are a little bit farther off than kind of the typical. So yeah, if you have any questions on backpacking in general, feel free. Just give me a call here at 712-887-8916. Or shoot me an email at stoutj@unk.edu. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this. So right here, Indian Caves backpacking. Let me move some stuff around on the screen here. There we go, so you can see everything. Indian Caves backpacking is going to be broken into 3 different days. The first day going to be that Friday, September 24th. We're going to be meeting at said time. We can really make this whatever time you guys are all free. But we're going to be doing a pack shakedown, which is basically looking through what you would be taking on a backpacking trip and then kind of going over the general gist of how to pack your pack the most efficiently, and so it's going to feel the most comfortable while you're out on the trail. For this, we are going to be doing that meeting on Friday, and then we're going to be leaving on Saturday morning. Saturday morning, it's a fairly quick drive, just 3.5 hours out there. Going to be leaving at 8:30 a.m. So really hoping people can get to Lot 10 here just on campus by 8 o'clock, just so we can be timely and just get on the road at the right time. By the time we actually get over to Indian Caves, we'll probably do a little bit of lunch right at the trailhead, and then going to be starting the backpack right about 12 o'clock p.m. So right at noon. Down here, we've got a little bit of kind of the directions. So 3 hour, 31 minute is the typical. And as you can see, Indian Cave State Park, if you're unfamiliar with Nebraska or the area, is just right south of Omaha. So some of the group introductions. My name is Justin Stout. I am going to be the head trip coordinator on this specific trip. As we go through this, I'll be the person that you can ask any questions or kind of come to. As far as other student trip leaders, those are to be determined depending on how many people we get signed up for the trip. Typically, if we have a few more people within all of our little setup here, we would go through a complete participant's name, major, previous backpacking experience, and favorite moment from the semester. There's not really too many people in here today, so I'm just going to go ahead and give a quick intro on myself. My name is Justin Stout. I am the Outdoor Adventure Coordinator with the Outdoor Adventure program here on campus here at UNK. My previous backpacking experience, I've been on, at this point, I want to say 40 trips, in some way backpacking related. And favorite moment so far from the semester has just been all of the different times that I've been able to get out on the Kearney Canal, showing people just the water and just getting out paddling. So going from here, trip format, Friday, that how to pack lesson. Once again, we'll go through and get that exact time as soon as people sign up. Once again, Saturday, that van's going to depart at 8:30 a.m. Really hoping to get to 8:30 a.m. sharp there. And then we'll start backpacking. We'll be there by noon, hopefully start backpacking right at 1 o'clock. By the time we're done with all that, we're going to go and hope to be to camp by about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then we can start going through how to set up tents, how to work on some of the fire, and then also working on just how to do a little bit more on the camp cooking side of things. Camp cooking and backpacking cooking are always a really fun thing to get into, and really you can do as much and as elaborate meals as you can in a 5-star dining restaurant. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and with this specific trip, it's something we're definitely going to go through and teach you. So right here, we've got Indian Caves. The specific trail that we're going to be doing is going to be the 273 trail. It's just combining a number of the different trails within the park. Here at Indian Caves, there are going to be about 20 miles of backpacking trails that you can utilize. We are only going to be touching on about 5 of them. So this is a very, very good trip for beginner backpacking, and also just a time to get out in nature, kind of get out of the city and experience what just nature's all about. So right over here, we are going to be starting towards the north end of the park, and then starting our backpack. On the first day, we're going to be backpacking past Half-Breed Cemetery, a number of other iconic areas across a few different outlooks. And then we'll end up at around the southern section of this trail, kind of right where the 6 here is labeled on the All Trails map that I've got. Following that, the next morning, just going to get up, do some breakfast, and start backpacking out. With all of these different trails, we are going to be looking through and doing as much as we can to really get involved with kind of what's going on with the park and really just check stuff out. Going to be doing quite a bit of exploring around the park, kind of on the way out and on the way back for the backpacking section. One thing, sadly, we will not be able to do on this trip is actually see Indian Cave, the specific cave and the namesake of the park. It's been closed for a little over a year now, and it's just one thing. Highly recommend getting down there to check that specific aspect out. Just this specific trip, sadly, not going to be a thing. So once again, if anybody has any questions on any of the trail system or any of the specifics of what we're going to be backpacking on specifically, let me know. One other quick thing on this, over the 2 days, the total elevation gain is going to be 850 feet. So it is going to be a moderate hike, but it's not going to be anything that any college student wouldn't be able to do. So let's go from there. Transportation, we are going to have a Suburban provided by UNK Outdoor Adventures. We cover all of the travel and all of kind of the logistical pieces, so you don't have to, and you can just come out to enjoy the trip and learn quite a few really interesting facts about backpacking. We are going to be meeting in the Cushing parking lot number 10 at 8 a.m. on Saturday, hoping to leave by, once again, that 8:30 a.m. And drivers will be student trip leaders or myself, the OA coordinator only, just for the risk management side of things. For equipment and clothing, gear checkout will be on Wednesday, September 22nd. Some of the biggest things that you'll have to check out is just going to be your backpack. Everything else we will have for you on the Friday night when we go through and do our pack shakedown and kind of go through what all we're going to be taking. But one thing, just keep that in mind. UNK Outdoors will be also providing, apart from the transportation, all of the camping fees, camping gear, which is going to include the sleeping bags, sleeping pads, tents, stoves, cookware, and some of the other random things that just make life really easy out on the trail. What you'll need to bring, we'll be going through a packing list here in just a minute, so hang tight for that. With the meals, what we've got put together right now is on Friday, we are going to be doing breakfast and lunch on Friday on our own, just at home here. So you guys can do whatever you want for that. For dinner, however, come hungry. We are going to be doing a bit of a cooking clinic, just to kind of get everybody familiar with what some of the equipment that we're going to be using out on the trail is going to be like. That cooking clinic is going to be making pizza quesadillas. If you are vegetarian, go ahead and make sure to let me know prior to. We can always accommodate for vegetarian, vegan diets, or celiac, or anything else that we've got going on. So that's going to be Friday. On Saturday, we are going to be on the road pretty early. So we will have muffins and orange juice for you guys just right in the van and go from there. By the time we get to the trailhead, that's when we're going to start doing lunch and kind of get everything really set for our big hike out to our first campsite. With that, it's just going to be summer sausage, veg, and cheese wraps. If anybody is interested in anything else or doesn't particularly care for summer sausage, something like that, once again, just let us know and we can definitely be flexible. For camp, we were looking to do an Italian gnocchi bake. It's going to be a potato pasta, very good, very nutritious, and pretty carb dense after a pretty hard day of hiking. At the end of the night then, just as we're talking around the campfire, we also will have a few s'mores and some basic backpacking snacks just chill with for the rest of the night. On Sunday, that 26th, we are going to be getting up a little bit earlier once again. It's going to be oatmeal, and then, of course, we will be in very typical fall fashion with a little bit of an outdoor pumpkin spice latte, kind of the backpacking take on some of people's favorite coffee out there. Once we're done with that, once again, do a little bit more exploring, heading out. And by the time we get back out to our main trailhead, we'll go ahead, stop, grab a little bit more to eat. Was thinking peanut butter and apple wraps with walnuts, and then from there, head on home. And looking to be home right before dinner. So everybody can either go out to their favorite restaurant when they get back or kind of have a meal with the friends once they get back as well. Okay. With wilderness ethics right here, minimal impact camping is something that we strive to uphold with the program. Minimal impact camping is going to be taking only pictures, leaving only footprints, very similar to what Leave No Trace has going on for it. The biggest thing on that is we want to leave every area that we visit much better than when we had originally got there. Keep that in mind. The group adventure policy, we do have the common adventure philosophy. And what this is just being mindful that you are with a group and really don't leave anybody behind. Big area where this comes in is if there's a kind of sketchy trail or a sketchy move that you want to do some point in time throughout, just think before you do it and just know we do have a number of other people on the trip as well, and that could definitely impact the trip in a negative way for everybody else. That being said, talk with us and we can definitely do a lot of adventuring. Just be safe as we're going through. If you are going to err on the side of safety, as a really good friend of mine once said. The rules, health insurance is recommended. Liability waivers are going to be a must. With health insurance, I know some people do not have this. Take that in consideration. We are doing something that's just a little bit out of some people's comfort zones. This being said, you should be totally fine throughout. It's just a matter, it's always better to stay on the safe side with health insurance. And with that, bring a copy of your card or know your policy number. Apart from that, we will be signing liability waivers right before we hop in the van, just as the general. We also have a little bit of trip insurance that we do just always cover on any trip that we go on. But keep in mind, specific health insurance is definitely going to be something I would recommend. For the UNK miscellaneous policies, one of the big things that we've got is our alcohol and drug policy. Here at UNK, we are a dry campus, and that does also extend out into our trips. So one more time, just don't bring any alcohol on the trip. It's just a very big thing. When we are out at restaurants, that's another thing. We are representing the university, so please refrain from drinking alcohol on this specific trip. We can definitely still have fun without it. As far as the drug policy goes, it's one thing, no drugs on the trip. If you do have prescription drugs, that's a little bit of a different story. If you could, please just let us know, myself as the head trip coordinator, just so we can be sure that you're taken care of and we know kind of what to expect, especially there's always different allergies with meds and stuff like that. So just keep us informed and we'll definitely be good. Okay, so what you need to bring, there's quite a bit of stuff on all this. So if you need to, you can definitely pause this video. I'm just gonna kind of run through some of the key things. And then if you have any other further questions, feel free, just let me know. With clothing, try to avoid cotton. That's one of the biggest things. Backpacking in jeans, backpacking in cotton socks, and backpacking in cotton t-shirts. Once they get wet, they don't dry out very quick. So make sure that you look through and kind of try and get all that stuff put together. Polypro and some of the other synthetic fabrics out there are wonderful for backpacking. They dry super quick and it'll make you so much more comfortable over the entire trek. With that, make sure dress for the weather. It is going to be kind of end of September, so weather can always be either in the upper 90s or down in the lower 50s, 60s. Just keep that in mind as we go through and then pack with that in mind. Another big thing, we are only going to be out for a night and a day. So it's not something where you need to bring your entire wardrobe. It's more so think about layering. And once again, we can definitely go through and talk about that as you come down. Another big thing as we go on with all this, camp shoes and sandals. We're going to be hiking in our hiking boots all day, maybe wool socks, stuff like that. It's always really, really good to go through and have something that you can change into, let your feet air out, especially if you have any blisters, you can let those air out and be a little bit more comfortable at camp. For toiletries, we are not going to be around showers, so wet wipes are always a good thing if you're in need of any kind of personal hygiene, any care like that. Deodorant is always a pretty big thing. We are going to be exerting quite a bit of energy, so, and we all are also going to be riding back in the same vehicle. Just be nice to everybody else. Toothbrush and toothpaste, we will be going over some of the leave no trace principles as far as how to do some of that in the backpack or in the backcountry. So keep that in mind. And then sunscreen and bug spray are always two very, very important ones. Though it is gonna be a little bit cooler, not near as many bugs, it's still something. It'll definitely keep bugs off you, and sunburn on a trip is never a fun time. For eating and drinking, we are gonna be having most of our cook supplies with us. One thing that we do ask that you bring is your cutlery set, which is going to be your bowl, plate, silverware, maybe a cup for coffee in the morning, and then 2 water bottles. For water bottles, I always recommend 2 Nalgene's. This is 2-liter bottles. With Nalgene's, they're absolutely amazing, super durable, and it's something that it's not going to break on you. If you don't have Nalgene's and you don't want to go out and kind of splurge and spend on this stuff, also know that generic Gatorade bottles also work very well. With those, I would recommend probably grabbing 3 of them, 2 to fill, and then 1 that's just kind of as the side, just in case a cap breaks or something like that. Going through, once again, that health insurance card is pretty important. If you remember it, bring it. If you have it, bring it. A vehicle kit is going to be kind of your personal items. It is a 3.5-hour car ride. So if you prefer a pillow as you're going through and driving, any snacks that you might like, and then any blankets, books, e-readers, etc. Phone chargers, we will have phone chargers within the vehicle, but just know portable chargers, especially on the drive, kind of that 3 hours, they're always not a bad idea to have them, especially if you do want to go through and use your phone a little bit more. While we're actually out on the trail, I would challenge you all to make sure, just put all of your phones right on airplane mode and see what it's like to just disconnect and just be one with nature for the weekend. And on airplane mode, your phone will definitely last a lot longer than if it's searching for cell service around the forest that we're going to be in. A small dry bag or small dry box is always a nice thing to have in the brain of your pack or the top of your pack, just to make sure if we do get any inclement weather, any of those electronics aren't going to get damaged. And then light road camp snacks, as we said before. Another thing, always good to have a lighter with you when you go on some of these trips. We will have a number of them, but it is one thing, doing a bow drill or something like that really isn't too practical. So as we go through and start the fire at night, if you are interested in helping out with some of that, just a lighter is always a basic, easy necessity that you can bring out with you. UNK Outdoors provided gear is going to be that tent. We do have quite high quality tents that are going to be a little bit lighter, so we can just go ahead and put those in our packs and it's not going to weigh us down too much. Sleeping bag and sleeping pad. If you have your own, definitely let me know. One thing with ours, they are going to be pretty light. So as we go through all that, lighter sleeping bags, lighter pack weight overall, it's going to make your life a whole bunch easier. And just know the bags that we have are going to be pretty warm for you. So let's go with that. And then if you do have your own gear, just let me check it out during that meeting on Friday, and we can see if that's officially going to be something that you're going to want to be backpacking with. A stove, lighter, and fuel is going to be something that we will have. I mentioned bring a lighter. That's just as an extra. We will have lighters. As far as those stoves, we're not going to be using the basic alcohol stoves. We do have backpacking stoves with something called Isopro. It's a portable propane tank. And then we will have all of our pots, pans, spatulas, stuff that we're going to be cooking with. Dishwashing setup is another something that I will have, so everybody can do dishes after we're done eating at all the different meals there. We will also be providing the food. We had talked about the kind of food list or the grocery list a little bit earlier in this video here. With that, you can definitely run back to that to kind of see what we're going with for some of the food. But just know we will have that. If you want any of your specific snacks, feel free to grab those. Water, dromedary, this is going to be something, it's just a large pack for water. We will be carrying some of that with, and then we'll also be treating a little bit as we go with both iodine, and we've also got a filter that we can use. First aid kit is going to be something that I will be carrying over the entire way here. Blisters is going to be, or getting blisters is one of the common things that'll happen for you. We can definitely help with a lot of that. I am also a trained wilderness first responder, so a lot of the stuff that could potentially happen out there, first off, we're going to try to make sure it doesn't happen, but if it does, we are very well prepared to handle it. Backpacking gear is going to be the basics. You'll get a backpack, and then we'll also have water purification just to make sure we stay hydrated out on the trail. What we need to go. So we don't need a ton of participants for this. We need 2 participants and then myself. That is the bare minimum that we can run this trip with. Biggest thing right here is you do need to be signed up by Wednesday, September 22nd. Just so I have a little bit of an idea of what to pack for, what to get together for everything going up. With all this, you can definitely sign up here at recwell.unk.edu. Very nifty system right here for signing up for any of the trips. So up in your search bar, you're going to be going to recwell.unk.edu. Just about there. So once you are at recwell.unk.edu, this is going to be the page right here that shows up for you. All you have to do is go straight down here into Outdoor Adventures, click that. We've got all of our trips and different activities going right here. All you have to do is click Indian Caves Beginner Backpack, the $85 trip there. Right here, it is going to be that Fall Colors Indian Caves Beginner Backpack. You'll have to sign in, register, and then just go through. Just make sure that you do go through the entire registration process, as it will not officially come through if you don't. So how to do that, go to UNK SSO or single sign-on right there, get through with all of your information. You'll go through, sign up with your Duo account, approve all that. Now it'll say, instead of login, register, click register. If you have multiple people in your family, just click yourself. Or if you do want to take your significant other or somebody else that might be on your account, you can also register them. So for me, it's going to be myself, register, looking through. If you don't have emergency contacts in, it will ask you to put them in right here. For mine, it's going to be my dad, Corey Stout. So good on that. And continue. Right here, this is going to be all of the general information that we're going to need from you. So medical information is going to be one of the key. List any allergies, medications, dietary restrictions. If there are none, simply write none, because we do need an answer for all of these. So none. Rate your fitness level as far as all this. I know I really wish I could say I'm an excellent, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Swimming, certify I can swim. I can definitely swim. If you can't, just let me know. It's not something that's going to take you out of this trip, but it is something to just keep in mind, just as we are around a couple of the different bodies of water. Type your name if you understand. All the activities are usually vigorous in the outdoors, and you should expect to engage. Yes. Photo release. We will be taking photos, some pretty awesome Instagram, Facebook photos for you guys. Cancellation process. If you do not cancel before the pre-trip, which is today, you will forfeit 50% of your fee. Biggest thing at this point in the game, if you plan on going, make sure just go ahead and sign up. Just keep it in mind. Last thing, medical insurance. Yes. Make sure to try and have it. We do not cover all of the medical insurance on the specific trips. I really wish we could, but it's one of those things we'll get through. Okay, so after I've got all of my information in, I will click add to cart. And then right here, this is that key point. You do officially have to check out. So as you go into this, it's a matter of clicking checkout, proceed to checkout, and then once you check out, this will bring you to another page where you'll officially make your payment. So I am not going to do this officially just because I've already submitted all of my information. But as we go through, just know, I'll stop sharing my screen. But yeah, as we go through all of this, we can definitely keep on with really everything that we've got for this specific trip. I really hope we can get this to go, and I really hope that whoever is watching this video made it through the very end and is super excited and wanting to sign up. As it gets closer to next week, if you're kind of on the edge by about Wednesday morning, go ahead, just give me a call, make sure we do talk that stuff out, and then we can definitely get it going. So I know this was a little bit of a longer video with that pre-trip. I've got about 40 minutes at this point, but a lot of information. You can definitely click around, and from here, my name's Justin Stout, Outdoor Adventure Coordinator, and it was a wonderful time talking with y'all. Have a great time.